Assalamualaikum and very good day to our beloved panel. Let me introduce myself is NURSYUHADA binti IBRAHIM and with my partner.
My name is Shahirah binti Rozalli.
Today we are presenting the research project topic which is behavioral factor that affecting entrepreneurial spirits among undergraduate students at University Technology Mara in Kedah that supervised by our beloved Puan Hajah NURULAINI binti ZAMHURY. So here is the outline that we will be presenting in detail after this. Firstly, for the background of the study. In the 21st century, entrepreneurial spirit has become one of the provided necessities that acknowledged by the public and has gained recognition as a demanded element that can increase and strengthen economic growth. In this context, the entrepreneurial spirit is not something that are taught, it is something that must develop within yourself. According to the Moral and Thomas 2001 has stated that entrepreneurial spirit of individual motivated and stimulated by their personality traits. Thus, the study of entrepreneurial spirit can enhance also generate the productivity and hire quality students that capable to take the risk also become the leadership which able them to recognize their career pathway. More clearly, the key of entrepreneurial spirit is important among university students as a preparedness for the future career. According to the Ministry of Higher Education has a research budget with amount of 8 million ringgit in 2020 as compared to the 7.65 million ringgit in 2019. From the Ministry of Finance to cover the implementation of entrepreneurship programs in achieving 10 shifts of the learned value driven talent, the Malaysian Education Development Plan 2015 until 2025 to enhance entrepreneurial, holistic and balanced graduate. Therefore, the study seeks to explore the level of characteristic of the entrepreneurial spirits among university students.
The first problem statement is the lack of awareness of the significant entrepreneurial spirits become part of the major problem among social science students, which they are difficult to recognize and to set up their career path in future. This can be supported by developed countries having the success entrepreneurial spirit rate more than 25% compared to Chinese university graduates who only achieve 10% success due to lack of entrepreneurial spirit, such as entrepreneurial mindset and creativity. In addition, the lack of entrepreneurial spirits among fresh graduates can lead towards the increasing of unemployment rate. In Malaysia, the unemployment rate among new graduates rise to 25% in 2020 from 13.8% in the previous year, in which it brings the total unemployment of new graduates to 116,161 people due to lack of cultivation, entrepreneurial spirit in competing at job market. Moreover, according to the study of marketability of graduate in Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Study in UiTM Melaka, it demonstrated 92.6% have work and 7.4% are unemployed. Therefore, the study of entrepreneurial spirits is important for university students as to identify whether there is a sign of entrepreneurial spirits possessed among social science students as linkage with 21st century skills.
We will proceed to a research question. Research question can describe as identifying and analyzing of issue or the problem that arising among UiTM students. Therefore, the following research questions were created with the purpose to explore whether entrepreneurial spirit is among students at UiTM Kedah. So, there are 5 research questions that identified by the researcher among university students. The first research question, what is the extent and level of characteristic of entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students? Second, what is the relationship between entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students? Third, what is the relationship between entrepreneurial creativity and entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students? 4. What is the relationship between entrepreneurial mindset and entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students? And the last research question, what are the most influential factors that contribute to entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students?
Next, research objective can be referred to a result of a research project that has been conducted. For this study, it has 5 research objectives.
We are looking for the conceptual framework which demonstrated the relationship of independent variable and dependent variables. There are 3 elements under independent variables which are entrepreneurial leadership, entrepreneurial creativity, and entrepreneurial mindsets. The element under dependent variable is entrepreneurial spirit. It can be seen that these independent variables are the factors that influence to entrepreneurial spirits. Next, according to the Stephens, stated that entrepreneurial leadership can define as the focus of mindset to turn problems into opportunities that can create economy and social value. And according to Stans, stated that entrepreneurial creativity is a component of individual cognitive processing and has the ability to generate new and valuable ideas. According to the Shahirah, stated that entrepreneurial mindset is a way of approaching a situation where the person feels empowered, motivated, and capable of taking things into own hands. For dependent variable, according to the Smith, indicated that entrepreneurial spirit is referred to an attitude and approach to thinking that actively seek out the change rather than waiting to adapt to change.
Moving to the research methodology. For research design, the study used quantitative approach. The unit of analysis is full-time student participates from Bachelor of Administrative Science in Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Study at UiTM Kedah. The reason why student participates selected as they have developed self-independent, prepare for job seeking, more professionalism and advanced as they have been through various of process, academic learning and final project assessment. Moreover, they have learned the subject of principal entrepreneurship and project management from previous semester, whereby these two subjects are important courses as have the element of marketing approach skill and entrepreneurial value that can engage and develop 21st century skill among participating students such as proposed solution, critical thinking, creativity, innovation and leadership. The first sampling technique used is purposive sampling. In this method, the unit will be selected based on due to having characteristics that researcher needed in the sample. In other words, purposive sampling selects sample on purpose. The second sampling is simple random sampling, which can be described as every component of the population is taken into account and each component has an equal probability of being selected as the subject. For the measurement, the questionnaire will be distributed through the Google form and it divided into 5 sections, which is demographic profile, level of characteristic of entrepreneurial spirits, entrepreneurial leadership, entrepreneurial creativity, and entrepreneurial mindset. The population of full-time student participates from Bachelor of Administrative Science is 138 and the sample size is 103. The primary data is questionnaire and the secondary data consists of journal, article, published research and ebook. Lastly, for the data analysis, it was analyzed using SPSS version 26 through pilot study, descriptive analysis, Pearson correlation and multiple regression. For the data collection flowchart, based on the slide, there are primary and secondary of data collection. For primary data, it has 5 components, which is pilot study that use Cronbach alpha value, 2 sampling method, which is purposive sampling and simple random sampling, questionnaire, descriptive analysis, Pearson correlation, and multiple regression analysis.
Next, we are moving to the findings. As you can see from this figure, show the mean score value for the research objective 1, which is to know the extent of the level of entrepreneurial spirit among UiTM Kedah students. This result illustrated the highest mean value is 4.60 and the average mean score is 4.477. This result has supported by the finding of critical analysis of entrepreneurial spirits, attitude and perception of youth South African in KwaZulu-Natal provinces mostly agree that possessing an entrepreneurial spirit is a needed behavior to influence the image of individuals' personality.
Next, the research objective 2 is to investigate the relationship between entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial spirits among UiTM Kedah students. From the result, the R value is 0.456 and the P value is less than 0.05. So there is moderate positive relationship between entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial spirits. As a result, HR is supported and there is significance between entrepreneurial leadership and entrepreneurial spirits. This supported by article Entrepreneurial Leadership Self-Efficacy, a focus on Malaysian student entrepreneurial leaders by Afsanah Bahari in 2013, studied that majority of students shape their perception on the capability skills through participation in leadership roles.
The research objective 3 is to determine between entrepreneurial creativity and entrepreneurial spirits among UiTM Kedah students. From the result can be figured out that R value is a 0.498 and P value less than 0.05. So there is a moderate positive relationship between entrepreneurial creativity and entrepreneurial spirits. spirits. As the result, HR is supported as there is significance between entrepreneurial creativity and entrepreneurial spirits. EE has supported by the previous study from NURSYUHADA 2020 indicated that the entrepreneurial creativity is one of the elements influencing the entrepreneurial spirits, whereby the student have a creativity characteristic in using imaginative skill to come up something new and innovation.
The research objective 4 is to examine the relationship between entrepreneurial mindset and entrepreneurial spirits among UiTM Kedah students. From the result, the R value is 0.651 and the P value is less than 0.05, so there is moderate positive relationship between entrepreneurial mindset and entrepreneurial spirits. As a result, HR is supported as there is significance between entrepreneurial mindset and entrepreneurial spirits. This supported by findings of McGrath and Macmillan, who found that the entrepreneurial mindset is the mindset from the potential of entrepreneurial in taking advantage of uncertain conditions and use it as business opportunity.
For the last research objective is to identify the most influential factor that contribute to entrepreneurial spirits among UiTM Kedah students. From this figure illustrated the registration result, which the researcher found that the entrepreneurial creativity is the strongest influence factor with the standardized beta value is 0.087 and p value is 0.017, which less than 0.05. Therefore, according to the study of Adriani stated that entrepreneurial creativity become the most influential factor towards entrepreneurial spirits, as that can affect a person's entrepreneurial spirits variable.
For the recommendation, the first recommendation is strengthen the role of education university in creation of entrepreneurial leadership. Universities become the crucial component in creation and continuing development entrepreneurial leadership among students. To create entrepreneurial leadership among students, especially in UiTM Kedah, the university's academic affair would provide entrepreneurship education with the aim to disclose the importance of entrepreneurial among full-time Part 6 students from Bachelor of Administrative Science, especially regarding entrepreneurial leadership. The second recommendation is create entrepreneurial program. The faculty play important roles in boosting entrepreneurial leadership among Part 6 students from Bachelor of Administrative Science by creating a lot of programs such as Entrepreneurial Leadership Program that consists of entrepreneurs presentation, creativity and innovation speakers, and student leadership development series. The third recommendation is organize a huge entrepreneurial carnival. Since Student Representative Council of UiTM Kedah have strong influence in the university, they are able to organize a huge entrepreneurial carnival with the purpose to encourage the entrepreneurial spirits among students, especially full-time Part 6 students from Bachelor of Administrative Science at UiTM Kedah. The last recommendation is students should foster self-motivation to survive independent. The students need to cultivate their personality to develop own motivation as they are more understanding and knowing what they are wanted. The students should seek out their change of behavior and change the mindset by motivating themselves to achieve the goals and target, as motivation is play a role in driving forces behind individual actions.
Last but not least, the research limitation of study, which the first limitation is the reluctance of the respondent to answer question during conducting the distribution of a questionnaire to the full-time students from the Bachelor of Administrative Science through WhatsApp and Telegram. It is a great difficulty to the researchers during the process of completing these research studies. Next, the second limitation is a data collection, as the some of targeted respondents do not want to participate to respond to the questionnaire, as they are uninterested in filling out the questionnaire and prefer to ignore it, even frequently promoted by the researchers. Thus, it is challenging for the researcher to access all the information and take a longer time for the respondent to respond to the questionnaire.
In conclusion, the main purpose for this study is to identify the greatest factor that influence the characteristic of entrepreneurial spirits among full-time students, Part 6 from Bachelor of Administrative Science in Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Study at UiTM Kedah. Hence, through this study, it helps researchers to recognize the most factor that influence characteristic of entrepreneurial spirits among UiTM Kedah students, which is entrepreneurial creativity. That's all from us. Thank you.